Hello everyone. In this video we're going to quickly review Google Cloud's natural language API and how you can use it in your Python projects. This is a relatively useful API when you want to do sentiment analysis, entity analysis, syntactic analysis, and more. So there are multiple layers in this API, but in this video what we want to cover is how to use Google Cloud's natural language API for sentiment analysis in a Python environment. Before starting this, I'm going to go through how you can set up your Google Cloud account. To do this, you have to make a project, you have to set up your billing information and create Google Cloud credentials so you can authenticate your project or the environment that you're using to use Google Cloud APIs. So before starting, let's see what this API is offering. To do this, there is a demo on the Google Cloud Natural Language API's website. There is a pre-filled text here. I'm just going to hit analyze. As you can see here, this text has some known entities. For example, Google, this API figured out that Google is an organization, and there is a Wikipedia article for it, which you can see. Mountain View is a location. Sundar Pichai is Google's CEO. It's a person, and also it found a Wikipedia article for it. In the next tab, it's showing the sentiments of this paragraph. In this paragraph, as you can see, the sentiment score is 0.2. Sentiment score can be from -1 to +1. If it's a negative value, it shows that the sentiment is negative, and vice versa. If it's positive, it shows that you have a positive sentence. Also, we have magnitude score, which shows the levels of emotion behind the sentiment. So for example, if it's a high value, it starts from 0 to infinity. So if it's a high value, it shows that there is much higher level of emotions behind its sentiment. So what I'm going to do here is just replacing this text with some simple sentences. For example, sun is rising. As you can see, we have no entities here. It's sun, but like for sentiment, it's we have 0.1 score here. It shows that it's a positive sentence, and there's not a lot of magnitude behind it. There's not a lot of emotions behind it. But if I replace this sentence with another sentence like sunrise is beautiful, as you can see, this is relatively a much more positive sentence compared to sun is rising. So we have higher scores for sentiment, and because it's more positive, and then magnitude shows that there is much more emotion behind this sentence. And then, for example, I can say I don't like sunset because it is depressing. So this should be a negative sentence. As you can see, we got negative scores, and also because we have depressing, and then the concept of not liking something, we have a high magnitude score. Okay, how should we do this in a Python project? To do this, you first need to set up your Google Cloud account. I already have a Google Cloud account, but you can easily do that by going to its homepage and do sign up. Basically, if you sign up with your university account, if you have one, you will have extra credits in Google Cloud, so I really suggest you to do that. After you have created your account, you have to create your Google Cloud project, which is a couple of steps. What I'm going to do now is go to my Google Clouds console. I have a project created called ML project. Before going to our Python environment, we have to set up a couple of things. From APIs and services, I have to enable Google Natural Language API. I will search Natural Language API, and then you can enable it from here. As you can see, it's already enabled for me because I have already used it, but you will see an enable button here, and you can enable it, and when you enable it, it automatically works for you. Then what you have to do next is make sure you have a billing information set up. So here, sometimes to use Google Cloud APIs, you need to have a valid payment method. So you can use your credit card or debit card here, but basically Google won't charge you any money if you use it for a lower number of requests, API requests, and also you will have some Google credits to start. And then I have to set up my authentication. So there are multiple credential types on the Google Cloud. For this one, we have to use service accounts. To use service accounts, you have to create a service account and then download its authentication keys and use it in your and expose it in your Python environment. My Python environment would be Google Cloud, so I don't need to set up compute engine internal service account for internal service accounts, but if you use Jupyter, you have to make sure you set that up. Okay, to do this, I will go to credentials. Here I have to create a new credential. The type of the credential should be service account. We'll just give it a name, create and continue, and done. Basically, I have created a credential here, demo sentiment analysis. Then I have to generate keys here. So I click on keys. I already generated 2 keys, but you can add a key here, and you can choose JSON because you can use this JSON file and expose it in your Python environment. I have already downloaded the keys that I want. So for the next step, I'm going to move to my notebook. Here, as you can see, I have uploaded the JSON file for my authentication purposes. To expose this key here, I'm going to use this command. This is the path to my JSON key. I'm going to replace it with our current path. And then I have to pip install the Google Cloud language here. To do this, I will use this command. Okay, let's run this block. Okay. For the next step, we have to import language v1 model. There are other versions of this model called language v2, and basically the difference is it supports more languages like Arabic, Spanish, French, but in this tutorial we're going to use the v1 model. Let's run this block. Now that we have imported our language v1 model, let's create a service client, language service client. To do this, I will use this command. Then what we have to do next is we have to define a document object, and also we have to give our text input. So here, as you can see, for text, I'm using hi, I'm happy. You can use anything here, any strings, and also you can use a file on your Google Cloud. And then for here in document object, we're going to pass this text, and also the type for this document object should be plain text. Now we have to do the analysis. We will pass this document to the API, and then also we have to print the results. Let's run this block. As you can see, hi, I'm happy. It's a positive sentence. You will get positive scores for the sentiment analysis, and also you will get a high number of magnitude. I'm going to replace this with a negative word. You will get the negative score. So basically, as you can see, the API works. There are multiple layers of natural language API in Google which you can use. Let's go through them. So for sentiment analysis, we have tried it. We can do entity analysis with analyze entities, and you can do syntactic analysis, which basically you can tokenize and break up given text into series of sentences. And then you can have content classification with classify text method. And then you can find tutorials for how to use this in your Python project. I will put the links under this YouTube video. Thanks for watching and have a nice day.